If you're not following me on Twitch, twitch.tv/true_inferno, then you missed out on last night's live stream. So that was the night before this video dropped, that is. And you missed out on me pulling this right here. My very first Rainbow VMAX card. This is such a beauty. This is the best card on. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Gosh darn it. Look at it. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens. Y'all know who this is. This is your boy, True Inferno. Something just flew that way from my hand. I don't know what that was, but anywho. And today's day is now Wednesday, February the 24th at like 1:30 in the morning. But that's beside the point. So as promised, I'm here to talk about the Kanto event, to give my review on the Kanto event. Now, since I'm reviewing something involving Pokemon Go, I could put out my Flossy Carter voice and be like, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, True Inferno, back again on another video. And today we're reviewing the Kanto. No, but I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that because, you know, I want to be somewhat serious with this. So there you go with that. Also, I asked a number of you guys on Twitter, on my Discord, and on other people's Discords, what you think about the Kanto event? And the overwhelming response was a positive one, actually. There was some of you that actually said, yeah, it was good, but, so there was some out there, some comments like that out there, but not a lot. And I'm going to showcase those comments at the end of this video because there's a lot. It's a lot to go over with everybody's comments. So what I'm going to do rather is focus on my thoughts on the Kanto event, the good, the bad, and the meh. The meh is in between good and bad. Or it might be because I mentioned it, but there might be some more details that I'm not familiar with, whatever the case may be. So if there's anything else that I'm not familiar about, and I will let you guys know. Or if there's anything that I am mistaken in terms of your personal experience or experience in general that you heard, let me know in the comment section below. So let's start things off with the good. So the good thing about the Kanto event is the music. I will admit, throughout the majority of the event, I had the music turned down. And, you know, I wasn't really concerned with the music, but obviously, if you saw my last video, I had the music turned up at one point. And yeah, it's nice to hear that old Pallet Town theme. I will admit, you know, I was, you know, kind of mellowing out to it, you know, just a little bit. So the fact that they had the old school music again, I'm tired. The fact that they had the old school music in the game is really, really dope. I will give them that one. I will give it that one again. I admit I did not listen to the music throughout the entire event, but I did listen to it at that one part, and yeah, it is very, very good, if I do say so myself. The next thing that I liked was that people's characters were actually in the game. So I actually did a video about this a while back, so it was data mined in regards to the 8 winners whose characters were going to be in the game. And I like all of them with the exception of one. I felt like Cricket should have replaced that one. I'm not going to get into that again. But yeah, outside of that, I like the fact that their characters were in the game. Now, how they were used in the game, that's another story for another, well, later on in this video. Not for another day, but later on in this video. But the fact that the characters were in the game, I liked it. Now, why? And you should like it too. Why you should like it? Because imagine this. If you would have won and your character was in the game, would you still feel the same way if your character was not in the game? Don't lie to yourself. You know full and darn well, if your character was in the game, you would be ecstatic, you would be overjoyed, you would like it to the death. So you can't have a change of tune because your character was not in the game. That's called being selfish. So that's why I can't do that, and it also makes you a hypocrite. So that's why I can't hate on that. I can't hate on the fact that those 8 contestants got their character in the game. Again, one of them I felt like should have been replaced with Cricket, but outside of that, it was very cool to see them in the game. Now again, how they were used, we're going to talk about that in a few short minutes. How the raids was done. So I really like that one as well. So first of all, every raid lasted for like, what, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, something like that. And then they will be done for like 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden, another egg will pop up at that exact gym in a short period of time. I like that. I'm glad they did not go with the whole, oh yeah, the egg will spawn 45 minutes from now. And then the raid will last for an hour. Then after that, a raid won't pop up at the gym for like 3 hours or something. No, there was constantly raids spawning at the exact same gyms. So I like that. That was really, really dope, if I do say so myself. Now, there was a lot of raid bosses that was available as well, which makes things easier and better in my opinion. But I really like the fact that the raids was pretty much going on nonstop, and obviously it's a money grab for them. So obviously it's a win for us, and it's a win for them because it's a money grab. So no problems from that point. And the fourth thing that I like was the hourly theme. So in the past, when we had some events, it would be like the first hour would be fire type Pokemon. The second hour would be dark type Pokemon. No, that's not the case here. This case is like the first hour was Palatown, and then the second hour was Pewter City, and then the third hour was Serenity City, aka water types, but you get the point. So it wasn't like the same, the fire type theme, the water type theme. No, it was different. You know, it was based off of the original Gen 1 games, and I like that. I really, really like that. There's some creative process that went on with that, and I like it. I really like it. So those were really only the 4 things that I like about the Kanto Tour event. Now let's talk about the men's. So the men's would be like, well, this was good, but at the same time that was bad, or, well, I'm gonna mention this, but I don't have enough information to say whether or not it was good or bad. So the first one I'm gonna talk about was the fact that Magikarps and Eevees were spawning all over the place. Now I get it. You need 400 Magikarp candies to evolve a Magikarp to a Gyarados. And with the whole evolution scenario, when you evolve an Eevee, you don't know which evolution you're going to get. You can get Flareon, you can get Vaporeon, you can get Jolteon. Now, luckily for me, I got all 3. Right off the bat, there was no, I got duplicate Vaporeons or anything like that. It was Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, done. The 3 Eevees I evolved, got them out the way very quickly. And you only need, I think it was like 12 candies to do it, something like that, 12 or 25. Not a lot of Eevee candies to pull this off, so there's that. But I understand why they did it. I just didn't like the fact that they did it. Now, here's what they should have done, though. Throughout the entire event, when you spin a Pokestop, we're going to get more on that later. When you spin a Pokestop, they're going to give you a crest that is towards the event. Like, hey, if you catch a Bellsprout, you will get 50 Bellsprout candies. Hey, if you catch a Meowth, you will get 20 Meowth candies. And I was not spinning a lot of Pokestops, or I was not clearing a lot of tasks to get new tasks, so I don't know about this one. So again, you guys in the comment section could help me out with this if possible. But were there any tasks where, if you catch a Magikarp, you're going to get 100 Magikarp candies? Or if you catch an Eevee, you're going to get 50 Eevee candies? Were there ever any tasks like that? If there were tasks like that, I have nothing to say, for the most part, to some degree. But if there was not any tasks like that, that should have been a thing. They should have reduced the number of Magikarp and Eevees that were spawning. Now, granted, the whole Magikarp badge thing is still a thing. I don't have that platinum myself, I will admit. But are you really going to focus on trying to get XL Magikarp from this event? No, that's not the priority here. The priority here is to get shinies, new shinies and other shinies. That's the priority. And regionals, I guess. And try to get the shiny Ditto and the shiny Mew. The priority is not to try and get XL Magikarp candies or certain XL or higher Magikarp candies. Or candies, not candy, but the Magikarps themselves. That's not the priority here. So they could have reduced the number of Magikarps that were spawning all over the place. And the same thing could be said with Eevees, especially if they could have put that in the field research tag. Like, if you catch a Magikarp, you're going to get 100 Magikarp candies or 75 Magikarp candies. If you catch an Eevee, you're going to get 50 Eevee candies. You get what I'm saying with that. So that's why I consider that to be more of a man, because I don't know if they had field research tags already in the game. If they did, then this is a man. But if they didn't, then this would be categorized as bad. But because I don't know, I'm going to put that as a man. The next man is they basically forced the players to go out during the pandemic. So in order for you to have a shot at getting these regionals, shiny regionals at that, a shot at getting a shiny Snorlax, a shot of getting a shiny legendary, a shot of basically completing the today task and the, what's the other thing called? The special research tag. You had to go out. You had to go out. In order for you to use up the 9 regular passes, you had to go out during the pandemic. And in some places that's impossible because they are locked down, because they got a curfew, or maybe because they just don't want to go and endanger themselves or others. So that's not a bad thing. So the fact that there were some people who actually stayed at home during the event, I don't know. But then again, not everybody had Pokestops and gyms all over the place near their house. So, but then again, the spawns could have been turned up a lot. I don't know how it went for those of you who was at home. Like I said, I seen how it went from Holly's perspective, but again, she had a bunch of stops and a bunch of gyms near her, so for her, it was no problem. You know, if you live in Long Beach or something like that, it's no problem. But if you live in the middle of nowhere, I mean, I don't know, that might be a problem. So if that's you, let me know in the comment section below. Did you go out during the pandemic to take part in the Kanto event? And also, if you didn't go out, what was the spawn like for you? Were you surrounded by Pokestops and gyms? Well, that's not the case. And if that was not the case, how do you make do with the Kanto event? How many shinies did you get? Did you have a good time? So that's why this is a man, because I have no experience with that. I was out the entire 12 hours. I'm going to mention that again later today in this video as well. I was out throughout the entire 12 hours, so I can't speak on those who was at home the entire time and had barely any Pokestops and gyms near them. So I don't know what it's like for them. I can only imagine that it was not good for them, that they had to go out and about despite the pandemic, despite possibly being in the curfew, despite possibly being in lockdown, meaning you can't go out at all. So I don't know. I don't know what that's like. So again, if you're in that scenario, please let me know in the comment section below. How did the event go for you? That's why I'm putting that in the mid category. Otherwise, that was also be in the bad category. So keep that in mind. Regular players got a lot of stuff in comparison to those that ticketed players got. So, and this is why this is in the meh. Because the word is there's going to be a maker event because of that. Because that was a thing. So it's like, yo, what's the point in getting a ticket if the regular players was able to do the same stuff the ticket holders did? With the exception of getting the shiny Ditto and the shiny Mew. Outside of that, it's like, what's the difference? There's no difference really. So, again, it's in the man because there's a makeup event coming, and that's the only reason why it's in the man, because of the fact that the makeup event is coming, but that could go to bad depending on how the makeup event go. And that's a future video. I will straight up offer my ideas in terms of how the makeup event should go. That will probably be on Monday's video, so don't miss that, folks. Another man, it was too much to do. Like, it was a lot to do. You had the shiny hunt, you had to complete the today task, you had to complete the special research task. There was a bunch of raids all over the place with many different raid bosses. There was a lot to do within the 12 hours. Yes, 12 hours is a long time. That's half a day. But it was still a lot. It was still a lot. A lot of stuff needed to be done throughout this event. And I feel like it was, yes, and somebody even said this, it was a bit overwhelming. And I agree. There was a lot of stuff to do. And we'll get more on that later on in this video. Which leads me to this. The special research tasks and the today tasks were too long. Yeah, they was really too long. And it wasn't advertised to be that. So let me refresh your memory. The special research task that would give you the opportunity to get shiny Mew, that's the one that was going to be long and challenging and things of that nature. And you needed a number of days to complete that one. But the special research task before that, the one that would get you the shiny Ditto, that was long too. And I'm like, why was that so long? That makes no sense to me. The today task was also long. And again, that made no sense to me as well. We did not need all of these long tasks, especially on this day. Because again, the main focus here is shiny hunting. That's the main focus. We want to shiny hunt. That's what the general populace wants to do on this event. Shiny hunt. They didn't want to, spend all the day completing the special research task, or spend the entire day completing the today task, or the combination of. It was all about shiny hunting. So the fact that the today task and the special research task were that long, it was crazy. Now, granted, the special research task, you have a good amount of time to complete it. It's not like you have to complete it on that day, but it was still long, nevertheless. It was still long. And because of everything that it is asking you to do, it was better to get it done on that day. Oh, especially the today task. Today task, yeah, you needed to get the majority, if not all of that, done within that day. Top of say, oh, you got to capture all these Pokemon and stuff like that. I mean, it's not that hard. And then you got to evolve it as well, which is another thing, which is another man. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. But it was a lot. It was a lot with the task, and it was too long. And I felt like they should have cut back on that, to be honest. They should have cut back on that. Which brings me to this. This event should have been a 2-day event. So, granted, I like the fact that it was 12 hours long, but it was still a long day, I'll be honest. A lot of people were tired. And I feel like this type of event should have been a 2-day event, like a 2 6-hour event per day, 7 hours per day, 8 hours per day, something along those lines. It should have been a 2-day event at the same price as well. And because it was, like I said, it was a lot of stuff to do. And the main focus here was to do the shiny hunts, the shiny checking. So I truly felt like that this should have been a 2-day event. And yeah, that's where I stand on it. It should have been a 2-day event. Now, another man was the 9 free raid passes. And some of you are probably thinking, how's that a man? Let's be real. Again, we're living in a pandemic. You know, some people don't want to go out because of COVID. Others can't go out because of a curfew or they're on lockdown. So it's kind of stupid to give them regular raid passes where they had to literally go out to use them. It's not like they got all 9 at the same time. They got one, use it, then they got the next one, use it, then they got the next one, use it, and you get the point till they use up all 9. And they had to be out and about to use up all 9. And, you know, it was, man, the only reason why it was mad because they gave us that many raid passes. That's the only reason why it's mad. So it's a good and a bad. It's good for those of us who can go out because we got free 9 raid passes to use. But at the same time, for those of you who can't go out, y'all probably think to yourself, what the heck am I going to do with these? You know, so, and you missed out on like, what, 8 free raid passes, possibly 7, who knows? So that's why that's more of a mad to me. I feel like at this point, I think a lot of people will agree with me when I say this. The regular raid passes and the remote raid pass should just be one thing, one raid pass that you can either use in person, that you can use remotely, or you can use in Go Battle League. Who even use their raid passes in Go Battle League? I mean, I don't know, because obviously I think you get more rewards or better rewards that way, but let me know in the comment section below. If you're in that Go Battle League like that, do you use your raid passes in Go Battle League? I certainly don't, but I don't know, you might, so I'm kind of curious to see what's up with that. And the last man that I got on my list is the fact that the lore modules, the lucky eggs, and the star pieces should have lasted longer. So so all that lasts for like 30 minutes. And I felt like because of an event of this magnitude, they should have lasted longer. They should have lasted 2 hours or 3 hours, well, not 3, 2 hours, I feel like. So like a lore module should be up for an hour or 2 hours. The star piece should be lasting for an hour or 2 hours. And the lucky egg should last for an hour or 2 hours. You know, something along those lines. The fact that they just remain 30 minutes is like, really? Like, they really want you to spend money on this stuff. And, you know, it's obviously, and it's proving some people right that, you know, the likes of Niantic, maybe because of the Pokémon Company, but it's starting to prove to people that Niantic is a bit money hungry because of stuff like that. Because now you force people to use twice or even 4 times these items, and they have to spend money to get these items to use throughout the entire day, as opposed to say, oh, we're going to be nice and say, lure module will last for 2 hours. Lucky eggs will last for 2 hours. Star piece will last for 2 hours or an hour, whatever the case may be. And that's why it's a mad, but at the same time, it's like, not a lot of people really are concerned with that. Otherwise, people would have been complaining, but I haven't seen anybody complain about it. That's why it's a mad, because, you know, again, not a lot of people use this lure modules like that, I guess. I don't know. But that's why it's a mad. So again, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about that mad, that last mad that I gave you guys? Do you like my idea of like those 3 items should last for 2 hours or an hour, whatever the case may be? Or did you not care? So that's why it's a mad, because I don't know what you guys truly think about that. That's why it's a mad and not a bad. Now, the last mad that I have actually, and I almost forgot about this one actually, and that is this. And actually, Holly actually mentioned this in her live stream, and that is this. When the Kanto event was announced and things of that nature, like, oh, every Gen 1 Pokemon will be there, the mindset was the evolved Pokemon will be spawning around. That's not the case. Well, with the exception of Snorlax, but Snorlax not a Gen 1 Pokemon, so we can't include that. So, you know, it was a possibility like, yo, we might even see a Charizard in the route, we might see a Dratini in the route, we might see a Flareon in the route, we might see a Jolteon in the route, we might see a Ivysaur in the route, you know, we might see these evolved Pokemon in the route, but instead, the only way to get those is by evolving the Bulbasaur to an Ivysaur to a Venusaur, you know, the Caterpie to a Metapod to a Butterfree, and things of that nature. So that is a mad, because yeah, it would have been cool to see every single Gen 1 Pokemon spawn in a route, with the exception of Mew and the legendaries. That's different. But at the same time, now we're asking for a lot of Pokemon to be spawning around. So that's why that's a man. It's a small man, and I'm not really tripping about it that much, but I do want to throw that out there. Let's go on with the bad. Let's go on with the bad. And the number one bad, Snorlax. Snorlax. So now, let me start off with a disclaimer. I did not get a shiny Snorlax, and I only got 13 shinies, which is, for a 12-hour event, that's low for me. Now, I'm not complaining about the fact that I got 13 shinies and that was it. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit, but I'm not going to complain tonight. So, man, I only got 13 shinies. I should have like 58 or something like that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm approaching this rather realistically as possible. So first off, I was at the Civic Center in Dearborn. So if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you know that the Civic Center in Dearborn is like close to the Mecca in terms of Pokemon spawns. It's not like some of the well-known spawns in Cali. It's not like the Rinsen. It's like a step behind the Rinsen. So it's pretty good. It's really, really good. And there was a lot of spawns at the Civic Center in Dearborn. But you mean to tell me throughout the entire, because I was there for the entire 12 hours, you mean to tell me throughout the entire 12 hours that only 3 Snorlaxes spawned? Now, and here's the thing. Lapras was spawning throughout the entire event. Chansey was spawning throughout the entire event. And supposedly, Snorlax was spawning throughout the entire event. But the fact that, especially Chansey, but Lapras was spawning way more than Snorlax. It wasn't like they were spawning more. There was way more, especially Chansey. That makes no sense to me, which leads me to this. It was pretty much based on what I've seen, and I could be wrong again. Let me know in the comments below. How was the Snorlax spawns for you guys? But it leads me to believe that, the mindset that Niantic and maybe the Pokemon Company wants you to have, or wants you to get, is, the best way to get a shiny Snorlax is by doing raids. Lots and lots of raids, which means you have to spend lots and lots of money on raid passes and remote raid passes. And I was prepared for it, so that's what I did. And despite all that, no shiny Snorlax. And which brings me to this point as well. The rates for that shiny Snorlax is low. It's really, really low. And I'll be honest, it felt like throughout the majority of the time of the event, not just for me, but from Australia, from New Zealand all the way down towards the West Coast, it felt like Zoe 2000 was the only person in the world with a shiny Snorlax. That's what it felt like. Now, obviously, later on, the shiny Snorlax started popping more. Holly got one. Heck, one of my raids, I invited Smart Platypus, and she got a shiny Snorlax for one of my raids. So, yeah, more was starting to pop up, but late. And I feel like, those rates should have been higher. I feel like more people should have shiny Snorlaxes, whether I'm included or not. I felt like, it was pretty darn near impossible to get a shiny Snorlax, and it was done because Niantic, and again, maybe the Pokemon Company, wants you to spend a lot of money on these raid passes so you can try and get the shiny Snorlax, which is kind of hard because the rates are low. And now for me personally, so not only did I not get a shiny Snorlax from raids, I couldn't get a shiny Farfetch from raids. I didn't get no shinies from raids at all, which is really odd. I did a lot of raids, a lot of Snorlaxes, a lot of Farfetches, but no shinies. It was really, really odd. But the main thing that bugged me is that, at a spot where a bunch of Pokemon were spawning, throughout the entire event, only 3 Snorlaxes spawned. And again, compared to Lapras and Chansey, those 2 Pokemon were spawning a whole lot more, especially Chansey. So again, let me know in the comment section below. If you went to a populated spot in terms of the amount of Pokemon spawning, how many Snorlaxes did you see? Did you see a good amount, or were you in the same boat as me and it was like, where the Snorlaxes at? So that's how I felt. And speaking of the shiny rates being low, it was like that for the other new Pokemon. Now, I can't say for the Hitmonlees and the Hitmonchans. I got a shiny Hitmonchan, and I know some people that got 2 of them, and I know some people got a Hitmonlee, and whatever the case may be. I'm talking about the other new ones, like Spearow and Paris or Parade. I'm not seeing a lot of people posting about that, Like, ooh, I got a shiny Spearow. Ooh, I got a shiny Parras. I have not seen anybody with a shiny Parras. And I think I only seen one person with a shiny Spearow, and that was after the event. So those shiny rates were really low. In fact, I would have to say the spawn rates for the Spearow themselves were kind of low as well. The Parras or Paras, how you want to pronounce it, yeah, they were spawning. But I can't necessarily say the same thing about the Spearow. And it was like, what the heck? So I feel like the shiny rates for those were really, really low, if you ask me. And again, let me know in the comment section below. Did you get a shiny Spearow, shiny Parras? Did you feel like the shiny rates for those were low as well? I have seen some people say, yo, some of these shiny rates were low. So there's that as well. All right, so now we're back to those characters that, you know, were recently added to the game just for the event. You have to battle them to advance with the task a lot. And I'm like, why do we have to battle them so many times? Again, I'm going back to the man when I said that the special research tasks to get the Ditto and the Today tasks were way too long. And that was one of the reasons why, because they constantly had us battle these characters. And again, I'm like, we did not pay $12 to battle these characters. Again, the fact that the characters were in the game, that's cool. I had no problem with that. But we didn't pay $12 just to constantly battle them, to constantly encounter them. And we're going to talk about that in a second too. We paid $12 for the shinies, to get the shinies. That's it. We ain't trying to do all that, you know, battle with the new characters and stuff like that. So I had no problem with the fact that the new characters was in the game, but the fact that we had to battle them to advance on with the special research task, to advance with the Today task, I feel like that was way too much. They should have cut back on that a lot. And speaking of cutting back, now, I don't know if this is me, but it felt like 85% of the Pokestops I encountered with those characters. Now, half of the time, they were standing right there. If they standing right there, okay, fine. But there was other times where they were not standing there, and I was spending a Pokestop, all of a sudden they show up right there. I'm like, what? They were not standing there. And somebody actually mentioned this when I asked them, yo, what do you think about the event? Yeah, them characters did slow down progress. Because, like, if you encounter one, oh, it didn't slow you down that much, but when you constantly encountering them, now it starts to add up, and it's like, oh, guys, yo, y'all need to chill with these characters. So the fact that about like 85%, and again, this is like the Mecca in Dearborn, so there's a lot of Pokestops there. And it felt like 85% of the Pokestops, I was encountering a character. Whether I needed or not, I was constantly encountering these characters. And I'm like, yo, dial it back with these characters. Yes, the fact that they were in the game for the event was cool. I can't say take them out the game. I can't say that. Like, I can't say they shouldn't have been in there because I wanted my character in the game. So I can't say that. But what I can say is this. I don't need to see them all the time or 85% of the time I spend a Pokestop, and especially if they're not standing next to that Pokestop. That makes no sense to me at all. They should have cut back on those characters by a lot, especially with the tags in terms of the number of times you have to battle these characters. They should have cut back on that a lot. Now, the last 2 hours of the event, that was basically when every single character that was spawning around, they was going to, like throughout the entire event, they were going to spawn right there on the spot. Now, here's what should have happened. We should not be seeing Magikarps, Eevees, Squirtles, Charmanders, Pikachus, Bulbasaurs, Machops. Okay, I can handle the Dratinis. The Dratinis, yeah, they should stay in there. But you get the point. The bottom line is this. We should not be seeing Community Day Pokemon spawn in the last 2 hours. You know, it's one thing to see them spawn throughout the entire event leading up to the 2 hours, but those last 2 hours, nah, we should not be seeing them spawning like crazy. We should not be seeing them spawning like crazy. And again, y'all want to come back to the whole, well, we need the Magikarp to evolve it. Again, go back to my little man solution. Do a task and get like 100 or 75 Magikarp candies from doing the task. Same with the Eevees. That should have been a thing. In case it was a thing. I don't know. That's why it's in the man. But in this case, this is bad. There should have been more Pokemon whose shiny form would make it its debut in the game. Like Spearows, like Parras, like, oh, I don't know, Snorlaxes. That's another one right there. Hitmonlees, Hitmonchins, Pokemon like that, you know, the more rare Pokemon that was spawning, that was barely spawning throughout the event, they should have been spawning the last 2 hours in my opinion. And instead, I saw a lot of community day spawns. Now, that's just me. I can't speak on you. You know, I felt like it wasn't an even balance, and it should have been, really, they should have been spawning at all. Like, we saw them for community day, Charmander twice, and we saw them throughout the first 10 hours of this event. We don't need to see them in the last 2 hours when everything is jumbled all up into one big old pile of mess. No, get the community day Pokemon out of the last 2 hours, because we don't need that. We just need the really good spawns. So I feel like they messed up the last 2 hours in terms of the spawns that was out there. And also, here's another thing that bugs me. What's up with that 1 hour instance? So if this was a community day event, that lasts for 6 hours, by the way, we would get an instance that lasts for 3 hours. So that, again, that's for a community day event which lasts for 6 hours. Here was the Kanto event, which means the Kanto event was double this, but instead of getting us 3 hours of an instance, they kept it at 1. That to me was dumb. That to me was straight up backwards. What was that? So again, now we're going back to the whole, oh, the lucky egg, the lure modules, and the star pieces, they should have been lasting longer. That's different because not a lot of people would talk about it. I'm not sure a lot of people uses those items like that. The star piece, yeah. The lucky eggs, probably. The lure module, I don't know. But not a lot of people talk about those. That's why I put that in the mid. But the instance, oh, that's a definite bag. Like, again, community day, 3 hour instance. This event that lasts for 12 hours, 1 hour instance. Nah, y'all being really greedy with that money. Again, Niantic and maybe the Pokemon Company, y'all being really greedy with that money. The fact that in comparison to a community day, where we get one instance lasting for 3 hours for a 6 hour event, we got the Kanto event where the instance lasts for 1 hour for a 12 hour event. Makes no sense to me at all. Unless you're trying to get that money. Which, again, proves a lot of people are right when they say that Niantic and maybe the Pokemon Company are greedy. I just want to throw that out there. And another bad thing is, again, I talked about this earlier a little bit. 3 remote raid passes. That's it. That's all we get for free. Again, I mentioned this earlier in the video, and I need to say it again. The differential between the remote raid passes and the regular raid passes, that need to end. Y'all just need to combine it into one remote, or not one remote, but one raid pass that you can use in person, remotely, or in Gold Battle League. Y'all need to cut that out. And the fact that we can only hold 3 to 5 at a time is also dumb. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why that's a thing. They need to cut that out and offer more. If they don't want to combine the passes, then they should have offered us more remote raid passes. Like, oh, I don't know, 9? Like 9 regular raid passes and 9 remote raid passes. I feel like that's a thing, and they still would have made them money because that's 18 for those of you who went out. That's not enough to satisfy the entire 12 hours, so they're gonna be spending money anyway. So why being cheap with the remote raid passes? It makes no sense to me. The fact that you can only hold 3 to 5 makes no sense to me. The fact that you get 3 remote raid passes in comparison to 9 regular raid passes in the middle of a pandemic where people might be on curfew or in lockdown, or they don't want to get out to get sick, or whatever the case may be, it makes no sense to me. So that's another bad. That's actually my final bad that I have for you guys, and that shouldn't have been a thing. So that's basically the good, the bad, and the mids that I have for you guys. So what do I think about the event as a whole? On a scale of 1 to 10, in the words of Flossie Carter, I would give this event a major go. That's 2 majors out of 4. So what does that mean? That means the entire event was meh to me. It was meh. That's it. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either. It was just meh. And especially for $12. So if you spent $12 US and you spent the entire 12 hours in the event, you got your money's worth. If you spent 10 hours throughout the event or taking part in the event, yeah, you got your money's worth. But if you spent $12, US dollars that is, on this event, and you spent less than 10 hours in the event, no, you're wasting your money. That's how I truly feel. I truly feel like you're wasting your money if you did not spend at least 10 hours playing this event. Now, if you did not get the event, or get the ticket rather, it's an end because, yeah, the free players was able to do a lot of stuff in comparison to what the ticket holders was able to do. The only difference is you didn't get the special research task to get the shiny Ditto and obviously the shiny Mew. And you're probably thinking, well, they might go come out in the future. But then again, where's the Galarian Mr. Mime and where's Mr. Rhyme at? We haven't seen those in a good minute. So who knows when you're gonna see those shiny Dittos and the shiny Mew? Who knows when you're gonna see those Pokemon? Nobody knows. So that's why it's like, now if you wanna tell me you want to get the $12 so you can get the shiny Ditto and the shiny Mew, I can't knock on you for that. I can't handle you for that. But if you wanna tell me that you spent $12 and you only did 6 hours of the event, nope. Then in that case, you're wasting your money. That was not a good investment. That was not a good spending, in my opinion. So again, I felt like the event as a whole was just a meh. You know, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. And they got I feel like they got some work to do with the makeup event, and I would get to that on Monday in terms of what I think Niantic and the Pokemon Company should do to make a very good makeup event. That would be for Monday's video. I got something special for Friday's video. So, I'm gonna call it a wrap. And with all that said, y'all know who this is. This boy New Jig Ass Beat, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. And check out these comments from you guys in regards to this event. Take care, y'all.
Subscribe. Thanks, man. Do it.
After you subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell icon so you never miss a new video or a live stream ever again. Thanks, guys.
Lewis the trainer, articulating paint. With my tongue, I done things that people said I can't. Now they rank 'em with the elite, but it's for the people, and victory is part of defeat. Cause when you get back on your feet, then you try again. Learn from mistakes, show 'em that I got what it takes, and I'm dying to win. I'ma hit and move away.